Hi, friends, and welcome to Strange Times Poetry Broadcast. I'm coming to you live from the Poetry Bookshelf to bring you three uplifting poems, that is. Um, One by Tracy K. Smith, our previous poet laureate, one by a friend, Rosebud Ben-Oni, and of course, one by myself. The theme for today is dance. And just before I get started, I want to say if you want to keep watching Strange Time Poetry broadcasts, please feel free to like our Facebook page. That way you'll know when the next one is screening. I am going to try and get some of these up on YouTube so that my awkwardness can be preserved for posterity. But in the meantime, we'll still be coming to you here live on Facebook. Okay, so our theme tonight is dancing. And I've been thinking about dancing a lot because of all of our amazing friends, musicians who have been putting on live concerts. And those have sort of been the highlights of this time for Chaya and I. We've been playing, Sheldon Lowe, the Indigo Girls, Hanukkah Cassell, our friend Jake Sandler, the cantor. We've been playing all these people on our little monitor through Facebook Live, and it's just these moments where we've been able to kind of dance it out and just let the movement relax our body a little bit. Those are the moments when we've been able to find some really great peace. And so for those of you who are able, I hope that you're taking moments to include movement in your day, if it's walking, whatever, biking, whatever you're able to do, and especially dancing, just, being able to get out of your head for a few minutes and let your body over to the music is really delightful, even if it's just swaying a little bit. It really helps. So of course I've brought you three poems about dancing, and they all look at dancing in different ways. So our first poem, Serenade by Tracy K. Smith, I would say is sort of, that sort of all-bodied, just letting go and giving into the moment, and also sort of like the freedom that you experience when you're in a new place outside of yourself a little bit. That's sort of the feeling that's encapsulated in this work. Now, I don't have the book that this poem comes from, which is too bad. But I do have a bunch of other Tracy K. Smith books, and I would recommend checking her out. She was the Poet Laureate very recently. And all the information is in the description of this video, so definitely take a look. All right, so I'm going to read our poem now. Serenade from The Body's Question by Tracy K. Smith. Serenade. I'm dancing with Louise, the dancing puto, delirious with Spanish and moonlight, with the scrawl of streets that led us here tonight in a foreign language. We are dancing the merengue, and my body rings with the ringing that wants to be answered, as though I am a little drunk in the bones, as though all along my body has been waiting to show me these trees, these nocturnal birds. City of restless vendors, of steep embankments, of padlocks and bad plumbing, you have carried on this whole night in the clatter of footsteps, in the private cadence of voices, and the silhouettes from which the voices spring. You have carried on as two girls in a doorway, as a figure the pretty one describes so vividly, it seems to hover in the air before them. As the smoke trailing the gestures of certain men, and the tobacco each removes from his teeth. Louise takes my hand in his hand and draws circles in the air above my head. I am spinning, sloppily at first, until my mind begins to understand that grace is a different phenomenon here and lets go of my two legs, allowing them to dance on their own like the legs of a chicken whose head dangles a limp carnation from its neck. I am spinning so giddily the bottles of beer and liquor and the bags bereft of their ice form one great lake of ecstatic liquid. I want to race out now into the dark that cradles us, past the red tips of dragged-on cigarettes, past the tall weeds of a few men wade out into, and the singing that reaches us from the other side of the patio walls. Earlier tonight in the plaza, fireworks so close overhead we might have touched them on their way back down. People ate cotton candy and roast corn, singing No vale nada la vida no vale nada. Faces painted to resemble calaveras. Is Luis crying? No, but makeup streaks his face like newsprint that's been rained on. I closed my eyes a moment ago. Now daylight appears just about to rise to its feet, like a guest who sat all night, keeping time to lively music. I just love that one. I've never read it before. I found it because I love Tracy K. Smith, so I was like, I hope she's written something about dancing, and this was just delightful. Okay, so our next poem is by my friend Rosebud Ben-Oni. This is from her book, Bright Eyes. It's very hard to pronounce because it's spelled with 2 X's. But we're going to do our best. And it's published by Get Fresh Books, so you should definitely order this one from the small press. And hold on one second. So I have a vintage Rosebud Ben-Oni book. This is, I think, one of her first book. But I'm very excited to get Bright Eyes after reading this poem. I really enjoyed it. And so this poem is based on a music video of a woman named Kiko dancing on the moon. And Rosebud kind of re-envisions the story of the music video, which is maybe a little bit more like, 2 women escaping evil or being saved or something like that, and turning it into them more just being like 2 women just rejoicing for the joy of life, and in this sort of carefree way that she sees as almost a type of rebelliousness. So I'm going to read this one to you. Thanks, Rosebud. Dancing with Kiko on the moon. On the far side, we're kicking up tundra out of 2. And no one on earth can see, though they swear by, we, though do not sing to moon women, sickle-hipped and shape-shifting, and very well maybe, and most certainly do, their wishes bounce and chase after and chew our moon dust when we are carousing with stellar winds and moon gust. Oh moon, we're over the you about you. Dear moon, do you need a tundra to look after too? Dear familiar, dear shipwrecker, salamander with wings of swallowtail, lucky charm fisher queen, waterless and aloof. It's just us 2, and we are twisters that don't leave the ground, too. Welcome to our moon house, and we don't have to go shout. We're all the worlds living between 2, which is why the moon wears her sunglasses at night, where exploding stars fall, shock break out bright, when Kiko and I are kicking up a tundra out of 2, and summoning the sun and dew, and oh, we're over the you of you, and howling until the wolves coo, until the cow jumps over, and we enchantress shine our super red from giant's blue, and dear NASA rogue, that's us collapsing gravity, so star power we vogue, and oh, meteorites and asteroids we set fire to, and make more than a planet out of dear and dear moon, do you need a, she looks after the far side of, we are all the dark side moonwalking after you. I just imagine these 2 just rocking out on the moon. I wish we were all rocking out on the moon right now. But in the meantime, we can rock out in our homes. All right. So for my last poem, I'm going to read one from The Evolution of Parasites, which you can get from Sibling Rivalry Press. I've put the link in the description. And so diasporatic dance, diaspora refers to, the idea that all Jews living outside of Israel are in exile. And so when you're in exile, you're kind of neither here nor there, which is interesting because right now we're all like stuck in our houses, but there's also this sort of neither here nor there feeling. We're like kind of working, kind of not working. We don't really know. There's a lot of like unknown, and that sort of gives it that neither here nor there feeling. And I think of, in terms of the diaspora, it's sort of a dance moving to a country that's safe, of, there's this history of Jewish people, moving each time that, there's a pogrom or something bad happens. So you're kind of doing a dance to find the next safe place. And so the diaspora becomes a sort of dance that, even though there's no place, there's no here or there for you, the dance itself becomes an embodied place. And I wanted to, using my absolute worst technology, this poem was actually based on a song, like sort of a traditional Yemenite song, I think, that's sort of semi-Zionist, that's saying, like, bring me back to my land. And so this was a response to that, because I was like, well, what land? I mean, I'm not really from Israel at this point, but I'm also certainly not from Poland. So I just want to just play you a clip of this song so you can hear what I was thinking of in terms of the diasporatic dance. Okay, so imagine that in the background. That was the song that some of the language of this poem was based on. Diasporatic dance. My body knows the song screamed on quarter notes, cortex to hips to soul, fingers tapping Babylonian, and my heart encased in so many bones, Polish, Litvak, Hungarian, shakes and pours over, hidden water tearing through limestone, the capers blooming. I follow the cavern the rain left behind, back to a nameless land, the Y of olive skin, my father's olive eyes, past Europe and her womb of ash, past Jerusalem and her stone hands, to plant the date seed I carry under my tongue in the spongy soil of neither here nor there. All right, thank you so much for joining us. If you would like me to read one of your uplifting poems, please send me a direct message. Like I said, I'm hoping to get this up on YouTube, but in the meantime, if you want to keep watching live poetry broadcasts, please like our page on Facebook. That's how you'll know the next time a new episode is up, but we're here every night at 8. And stay safe, stay sane, and good night. Bye!